Raheem Sterling is facing an incredibly harsh and isolating experience at Chelsea, a situation so severe it may take a real toll on his mental well-being. This alarming treatment has caught the attention of former professional and talkSPORT host Gabby Agbonlahor, who believes the Professional Footballers Association, PFA, should step in and address Sterling's predicament. Picture this. On a Monday evening, Sterling found himself training completely alone at 8 p.m., a stark demonstration of the loneliness that comes with being part of Chelsea's so-called bomb squad. This term refers to players who have been sidelined and essentially cast out by the club's management. Meanwhile, just the next day, Chelsea's main squad, led by manager Enzo Maresca, was seen arriving in Germany prepared for an intense Champions League clash against Bayern Munich, without Sterling included. Sterling's exclusion wasn't for lack of trying to move on during the summer transfer window. A last-minute deal to Fulham fell through, and though clubs like Crystal Palace and West Ham expressed interest, nothing panned out. Despite being loaned to Arsenal last season, where he appeared 17 times but managed just 4 starts with no goals and 2 assists, Sterling, now 30, remains stuck with Chelsea. His clear preference was to stay within London, but with the transfer window closed, he faces another 4 months in football limbo before he can seek a new club. Chelsea's manager Maresca has already confirmed there is no chance Sterling will be reintegrated into the first team. This means Sterling is condemned to training alone on the deserted Cobham pitches late at night, a scenario that could seriously harm his morale. On talkSPORT Breakfast, Alan Brazil spoke candidly about how wrong Sterling's current situation feels. His co-host Gabby Agbonlahor took this further, arguing that Chelsea's treatment of Sterling sheds light on why players who push for moves, like Alexander Isak and Yoane Wissa, often feel desperate enough to go on strike. He emphasized how harsh clubs can be when a player's desire to leave is met with resistance, showing little regard for their dignity or mental health. Agbonlahor shared his personal insight from his Aston Villa days, recalling how players designated as the bomb squad were isolated and shunned. Teammates wouldn't even talk to them for fear of being tainted by association. This kind of exclusion leaves players feeling incredibly low. Yes, Sterling's last season wasn't his best, Agbonlahor said, but he's a 30-year-old with 82 England caps, 20 international goals, 4 Premier League titles, and numerous domestic cups, yet he's stuck training alone, being treated so badly by the club manager. He questioned why fans seem unsympathetic, especially toward players wanting transfers. When a club doesn't want you, they treat you like rubbish, he explained. Players get made to train in isolation, sit by themselves in the changing room, and are cut off from the team environment. How does that affect someone's mental health? Sterling's mental and emotional well-being is the heart of this issue, but the conversation often shifts to his wages, reportedly over £300,000 a week, with some fans implying that his high earnings somehow justify the harsh treatment. Agbonlahor firmly rejected this argument, pointing out that money isn't everything. Earning a big salary doesn't negate a player's need for team camaraderie and mental support. Training alone, especially at odd hours, isn't just about football. It's about feeling isolated and unwanted. He elaborated, Sterling is used to arriving early, training alongside his teammates and being part of a collective. Why should he be left out now? What damage could he possibly cause training alongside the team? It just doesn't make sense. Alan Brazil suggested that perhaps Sterling's exclusion was due to disciplinary reasons, implying he might be a disruptive influence. But Agbonlahor quickly dismissed this notion, praising Sterling's reputation as a positive leader who has mentored many young players throughout his career. Chelsea themselves highlighted Sterling's leadership in a feature titled A Positive Influence, underlining how valued he has been off the pitch. Agbonlahor said, Sterling isn't the kind of player to disrupt a dressing room. This treatment makes me critical of managers who act like this. Maresca should think about the human side of his players. Their mental health matters. Highlighting that money is irrelevant to Sterling's current struggles, he added, people might say, oh, He's well paid, so he should be fine. ... But no, psychological well-being and feeling part of a team cannot be bought. The Professional Footballers Association has recognized the issue with bomb squad practices and, as of August 2024, has been pushing for clubs to cease forcing players into isolation during training. FIFA's regulations, updated 3 years ago, warn that making players train alone can be considered abusive conduct. Agbonlahor joined the growing chorus, calling on the PFA to intervene and protect players like Sterling, emphasizing the lack of loyalty in modern football. When a player wants to leave and raises his voice, fans are quick to criticize, yet the clubs themselves treat unwanted players as disposable, he said. He recalled witnessing the negative effects of such treatment at Villa, where frustrated players targeted younger teammates during isolated training sessions, showing how being cast out can cause emotional distress and even bad behavior. The PFA must ensure there are clear regulations about minimum group training sizes. Players shouldn't be forced to train alone or with only youth squads, Agbonlahor stressed. What's happening to Raheem Sterling isn't just a Chelsea problem, it's a football problem. This situation raises provocative questions. Should clubs have the power to isolate players if they don't want them anymore? Is it fair to prioritize financial and tactical considerations over a player's mental health and dignity? And perhaps most importantly, what responsibility do supporters and football authorities have to protect players from this kind of treatment? What do you think? Should the PFA take a stronger stance against these bomb squad tactics, or is this just a harsh but necessary part of professional football? The conversation is wide open, and your thoughts could shed more light on this deeply human issue behind the headlines.